Daddy.
Really though?
I see the red light. You know what that means? We are live, and we have a lot to get into today. We have the Money in the Bank preview. Not to mention, we will also review Forbidden Door. And also, I must admit, I will have a special public service announcement right after this. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Wrealm content anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. That's right, 2 W's. I am your host, yours truly, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host. Brother Hugh has the third H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D. He is your host. Bryan H, the Jack Daddy himself, Hollywood H. Waters. Bryan H. Waters in the building. And not only is he the guy, two belts Bryan in the building.
Yes,
and of course, here comes the trolling guy, not just any guy, Brandon the guy. Follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram. Dude, you can stop showing the belt. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Wrestling Wrealm with 2 W's. Like, subscribe.
And he got frozen.
And it is.
But make sure y'all like and subscribe us on YouTube, on Patreon, patreon.com/wrestling_realm. So y'all bear with me. I got Instagram live. I'm telling the people that's on Instagram to come on over to YouTube or go on to Twitch. But yeah, and then also WWE is coming to town. If you didn't get your tickets yet, go ahead and get your tickets. $20 off on SeatGeek if you spend over $50. So if you want good seats and you want the people to be amongst the people, simply go to SeatGeek.com, put in the promo code Wrestling Wrealm. Also, go to our website, www.wrestlingwrealm.com, get your brand new shirts. You know, I got the black shirt. I got the black Wrestling Wrealm Monday Night Raw style shirt. Shout out to the homies at Backstage Brawl. They got the shirts. They had it on their stream this past week, so make sure y'all check them out. And I've been hearing that the white shirt hit differently, so I'm waiting to see that one come across the timeline as well. I mentioned Patreon. You got Bryan H. Starts there. You got a couple other things on there, and of course, Championship Culture featuring the guy, Brandon guy. Y'all know how he do. He be doing this thing, so y'all make sure you check that out. It looked like the real Dwayne Allen is back, so I'm gonna let him go ahead and have the rest of this.
Bro, I think that's everything. I got like three words in and then just cut out on me. It's gonna be one of those. Listen to me. If it's one of those nights, like I said, you guys are in great hands. It's not like we don't do this each and every week. So we are here and we've got to do all logistics, of course. But we had a show last night, right? You just mentioned that Bryan H. Championship Culture, brother guy. He just keeps okay. You know what? This is the brother guy's constantly trolling. He hijacked my tag title. That's fine. But you had a show last night, brother. Championship Culture. You want to tell the people what? Yesterday was a very sentimental show. It was a special show. You want to give them a tease or a hint about what it is so they can go check it out on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm.
Yes, sir. So if you get a chance after you watch the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast tonight, going over to our YouTube channel and check out the special message that I had. It was a very special moment for me. Being a Prince Hall Mason, my lodge gifted me something I was totally not expecting. You can see some of the pictures from the event when I was awarded my own, as you can tell, I'm the belt guy. That's all I'm gonna say. I encourage you to go look at it so you can hear the story behind it and you can hear my thoughts. And I even showed off the gift. So I encourage anybody after you watch this show tonight, jumping over, you can view it at any time on youtube.com. And it's under the playlist of Championship Culture, where every belt has a story.
Yo, that was a great episode. I watched it earlier during post production. I have to commend you, brother.
My question is, sorry, Reddit, are you allowed to say that out loud? You put your whole. I was like, wait a minute. See, my mic drop fell out. I said, yo, is he allowed to say this publicly? But I'm sorry, Brian. You were saying
I'm sitting up here being sentimental the way doing housekeeping, which I don't blame you. Sometimes you got to, but yeah, I said it looked like he was about to get emotional there.
No, I didn't. When I saw the preview, Brian, I was like, oh, this might be a serious. But then I noticed what it was, and I remember when it happened, he kind of told us during the week. But I think, kudos to you, brother Brandon, and Championship Culture. Hey, what's going on?
Rakarsha in the building. Rakarsha is always a faithful member of the fan club, and she done came to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. Got Dylan, TWG in the building. Love the design. Dylan, a 2-belt Bryan. Well, you know,
Dylan,
I was telling
Dylan's the man, by the way.
I was telling the guy that this is the Money in the Bank special.
Mm-hmm.
$199 Money in the Bank 2020, 50% off. I was like, yo, I'm getting that. And it you know, a certain guy, the greatest wrestler of all time. Oh, wait, the guy who proved that he's the best in the world this past weekend.
Man,
this is the belt I associate with him. As you can see, if you don't know what I'm talking about, his side plates are right there.
Can I ask you a question? Why didn't you? What? Go ahead.
You spelled Okada wrong. I'm sorry.
Who won?
I had to get him. You know,
Wow.
I had to.
Wow. He already said who won.
Who won the match?
Man.
Oh, snap. My boy Sloan in the building. Shout out to Sloan from Coffee Talks with Rev and all the podcasts that he do that I got to look up right now because I'm drawing a blank. Pardon me, brother. Oh, Suicidal Boys. So shout out to Sloan in the building. Yeah, with a breaking freaking arm. Oh, the pay window. That's what it is. That's the one I was thinking about. Sloan from the pay window. So everybody ready to party tonight with the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. All right, my bad, Dwayne. You can continue.
No, man, this is what this is about, man. Listen, we gotta welcome our guests. We gotta make them feel welcome. The fans and those who are in chat are part of the show. We welcome the engagement. That's what we're here to do. And everybody is here, good brothers, is because there it is right there. Put it up on the screen. Sloan.
Yep. Yeah. So people can make sure they check them out.
So if you come to our show, we will promote you. How about that? If you come, you hang out with us, the Wrestling Wrealm, we'll definitely promote you. So that's the pay window.
Yo, Sloan, a good brother. I had an idea one time, and man, I was like, yo, I was thinking about such and such, and then he just gave me a whole list of follow-ups. I was like, see, this type of people I like talking to.
There you go, man. That's what I'm talking about. This is about the community. It's about the engagement. But brothers, we have a lot to get into tonight, so let's not waste any more time. Not as if we were wasting time in the first place, but Brian H, ring the bell.
Hey,
there it is. Good brothers, brother Hugh.
Yes, sir.
Brandon, brother Brian.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, what did we watch this week? Anybody want to go first?
Oh, easy. Money in the Bank 2013.
I knew you were going to go.
Hey.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What's different about that particular Money in the Bank show that 2013 that you had to go back and watch it specifically, brother Brian H?
2,
That's
3,
3,
4.
That's 4.
That is all 4 of us was in the building.
That's some horseman action, right?
Yep. That also Grateful Night. You up in Philadelphia? Yeah, we was all there.
Ouch! Wow, hold on, time out.
That's not cool.
Had to hit one of those.
I mean, you know. But yeah, we was there. You know, I was looking. I was like, it's crazy because it's never like when I think of Money in the Bank, that show is never like one of my go-tos. To be honest with you,
as far as what you go back to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually 2011, obvious reasons, the summer of Punk, the summer of Christian, because we can't discredit Christian as well. But then
the captain.
Yeah, but then also like, you know, the Money in the Bank 2016, 2017, the one with the first women's match, the one where Bailey cashed in. You know, so those are the ones, obviously the one the Shield held the titles, or all 3 of them held the title in one night, same night that LeBron James won the NBA Finals. But you know, 2013 kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But today, watching this, I realized this was like we talked about this a few months ago, several weeks ago with AJ and Caitlyn. This was another one of them nights they put on a banger.
Man, forget AJ.
Wow, what she do?
You got heat with AJ?
Oh man, Yeah, man. She cost my man Ziggler the daggone title.
Oh, see, I see. He can't let it go.
Come on now.
He can't let it
That's
go.
No,
that's
I
the
can't.
part that's literally I'm just
can't.
watching.
He can't let it go.
Man, I was so upset that night.
Mhm,
Come on, bro.
he was.
I mean, if anybody knows Brother Hugh, he's an avid Dolph Ziggler fan. So if anybody was going to catch that, I don't know why I even give me questioning why he had heat with AJ. I'm like, you know what? I should have known that. That's on me, brother.
Man,
Question for you, Brian. Did you see us there? Could you see us on camera? No.
Nah.
Nah.
Not that.
How did
we
you?
was way up there.
How did you feel about RVD returning to Philadelphia after his stint away and in TNA? He had a lackluster return for his return run, but it was in Philadelphia, the house of ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to be there. Did it make a difference for you? It did for me because I was an RVD guy. What about you? Were you happy to see him in person? And it's funny because we watched him and we were excited, and then he got jumped. They had to break him back in.
I wasn't excited because shout out to the guy, brother Brandon.
Which guy? The guy.
Because of him, I had already seen RVD
That's
summer
right.
prior.
At,
because
what was he?
Baseball.
Baseball. Was it baseball? I don't know why I thought that was a
Baseball Stadium.
That was in Bowie.
No,
yeah.
we was in Aberdeen at Ripton.
Aberdeen.
Ironbirds.
I got him confused. It was, yeah.
Yeah, we did go to both, but this one when we met him and they was like rushing him to take photos, and then he was
every time he turned around, he kept stopping like this and just doing this.
I was actually
that's literally how Brandon showed me. He's like, oh yeah, he was like this.
Yeah. If you see our pictures on the Wrestling Wrealm page, you'll see it. You'll see like a picture of him in motion. We got to meet Sting, Jeff Hardy.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was cool. I actually saw RVD this past March at a Wale Mania.
He would be a Wale Mania, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that was really cool. But we back in the backstage chilling.
Got it. No, RVD's the man though. So I mean, that was one of the highlights. That was definitely a fun show. That was, man, that might have been the last pay-per-view I've been to. So yeah, that was a good one. But what else did we get into this week, gentlemen?
Before we get off of that, what
yes,
Bryan
sir.
said, I just want to remember. Look what we have come to. The pre-show to what's probably going to be the main event. Remember what the pre-show was?
Oh yeah. It
was the Usos versus the Shield, the iteration of Seth and Roman.
Yeah, it was.
We forgot all about that pre-show match, and then now you're going to have Roman and Usos. What's this? 10 years later.
Yeah,
and they're going to be the main event. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main event, and it's crazy because Seth and Roman, they had such a dynamic as a tag team. They just was fluent together.
Yeah, a lot of people don't bring them up when they talk about like tag teams, but they definitely was.
They was very fluent together for being thrown together. Yep, I just wanted to point that out. That's one of the highlights to me is that they were on the pre-show. Look how far they've come.
True.
And it'd be wild if the Usos troll Roman and come out with their old gear on, or at least come out and do something. That'll be crazy because we're in a Triple H era where he likes to do crazy things. But I'm gonna save that comment for later.
Seth Rollins did it. He came out in Shield gear a couple, not too long
Royal Rumble
ago.
2022.
2022.
Right, that was Royal Rumble. Yep.
But
that was a fun match too. I recently went back and watched it.
Does it hold up? I know some.
I was talking about Roman and Seth with the Shield gear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it holds up big time.
It definitely does. I watched it not too long ago, and it definitely still feels like a big match feel. It felt like it was bigger than a Rumble. I hate to say it like that because I feel like it was like a SummerSlam level match. If you get where I'm coming from.
Got it.
Like it was a bigger platform match.
No, it makes sense though. But what else did we get into this week? Did you watch anything else, Brother Brandon or Brother Hugh? Anything in particular?
I'm still on Dark Side of the Ring. JYD.
I was waiting. I thought Brian Nash was going to drop the bomb on that one because usually that's where I get all my Dark Side of the Ring information from.
Yeah, man.
Go
check it out. I sound like Heat for a second. Yeah, man. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna check out the moves, man. But
has D ever said that before? Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, it was
Joe.
See, y'all crazy. But anyway, yeah, it was a good show, man. I liked it. I enjoyed myself. It's
You enjoyed it?
it's yeah, man.
Oh,
It's
you just sat
heartbreaking.
there. You just enjoyed the heartbreak and the trauma,
See,
huh?
that's why I
Nah,
can't
bro,
deal
I
with
enjoy.
it,
It's a
bro.
good show. It's a good
I
show.
can't.
I like
As
it.
you
It's
know,
well
it's
put
on
together,
fire, right?
production wise.
Now see,
See what I'm saying?
that JYD, the Junkyard Dog, was probably one of the most popular, groundbreaking professional wrestlers to ever lace him up, is because he was an African American superstar, and during a time where the world really wasn't embracing that everywhere else, he was truly embraced in the world of professional wrestling even before he got started in mid South with Cowboy Bill Watts. You know what I mean? He was someone
Right.
that was a major player before Black athletes in general, let alone professional wrestlers, were considered to be main players. So you're talking about somebody that was, I mean, Hogan's always said, man, he was just as over as me. He just didn't have the title. He's always gotten that respect. So that was a touchy subject for me. And I'm familiar. I know Paul Heyman tried to do right by him. I remember he made a couple of appearances for ECW later in his career. You know what I mean? What up, Thorne? So it's I figure one of you guys is going to talk about it, but definitely
it was definitely one of those. I learned a lot. You always hear about one side of JYD. You definitely hear about the other side. It makes you wonder. My biggest question coming from this was probably not so obvious. I think it was Tony Atlas. He brought up how he named like 4 champions or 4 top guys, right? And said there was only one of them that was Caucasian, in his words. It made me wonder if JYD was up in the North a tad bit earlier under Vince McMahon Sr., or I should say James McMahon, would he have been a champion? Because he brought up how Vincent Kennedy really just focused on having white guys at the top because of the money, where Vince his father spread it out and had a national, like a top guy, Pedro Morales, Jimmy Snuka, Bruno.
I don't think he would have been champion, honestly, because it was really about if your name wasn't Bruno Sammartino or Bob Backlund, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you talking about almost a what?
Well, Morales was there.
Well, Pedro Morales was, but you got to think about the time that JYD came up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like it'll have been tough.
Or at least not even. All right, let's even take a step back and say a top guy like JYD was a popular guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't booked as a top guy. He was booked as like as a fan act. Like
bingo.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. And you're absolutely right. That's a good question, though.
It made me wonder that, like the way he breaks it down, and I was like, there was no black person there, so maybe if you put JYD insert here, who knows?
Hey man, listen, that's a very compelling argument. It's a conversation that we definitely should revisit. I think we owe it to him, especially as black content creators. It's definitely a conversation worth having. But I was curious if anybody watched the Mick Foley Undertaker watch along when they celebrated the anniversary of the Hell in a Cell match, the infamous Hell in a Cell match that they had at King of the Ring. Did anybody get a chance to watch that yet?
I gotta I can't just have that playing.
Same
I gotta
thing,
watch
it. I was like, yo, because when I saw the time on it, I was like, oh, this is almost 30 minutes. I said, no, I gotta sit down and watch that. So I was curious to see if any of the brothers watch it. I haven't watched it for the same reason, but I'm looking to eventually. But when I sit down and watch it, it's like you get to hear the guys in the match. Like, first of all, it's a blessing. You get to hear the guys in the match have the conversation about what was going on, because I have a lot of questions, and we've heard DVDs and watched these specials over time, and they've brought light to a number of different things that we didn't know or recognize before. But hey, now we get a chance to figure out what these guys were actually thinking. But we'll definitely get into that more. But I'll tell you what we all did watch. AEW Forbidden Door. We have Money in the Bank to get to. That is the main event of our show. We're going to preview Money in the Bank, and we're also going to have our picks for the men's and women's matches. But first, we got to address AEW Forbidden Door. Gentlemen, we've had this conversation privately. Now it's time to have it publicly.
Hold on, we got to ring the bell again.
Ring the bell again. No, I didn't freeze. I was just trying to gather my thoughts. AEW Forbidden Door. let's just start. Look at Brandon. This
I'm
group
listening.
this group right here has seen a lot of good wrestling. We see, and I hate to keep harking on the old Ring of Honor New Japan days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been there since the beginning of AEW. We watched this progression and what it's come to this point. But man, I'll say this on record. I'll start it off. AEW Forbidden Door was probably one of the best things that AEW has probably ever done in its existence. I love the idea of it. The first one last year was really, really good. This one gave us a dream matchup that I thought I would never see. In 2015, when I ventured away from WWE because I got sick of them trying to give us Roman all the time. And I got into New Japan and I fell in love with a new up-and-comer like Okada. And you saw him, and you saw Shinsuke, you saw Tanahashi, AJ was the Bullet Clubbers, and Katsuyori Shibata was coming back, the professional wrestler. We saw Tetsuya Naito. We saw what's the guy? What's his name? I'm drawing a blank of his name. Who won the Cruiserweight Classic? Kenny Omega's old partner.
TJ, not TJP.
No, it's out of New Japan.
Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi. Oh, goodness gracious. I feel so disrespectful. You know, there's like I got the, Shelton Benjamin was over there at the time. We saw the Bullet Club. But man, this is probably a matchup. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Daniel Bryan versus Kazuchika Okada. It's got to be one of the most craziest things I've ever seen. I felt like I did back when I was in 2015, watching those Wrestle Kingdoms, watching those Donotakus, watching those, just all these New Japan pay-per-views when they had the collaboration with Ring of Honor. What did you guys think about AEW Forbidden Door 2023?
Bro.
I know. I didn't think Tony Khan was capable of doing it, but he did it.
The best AEW show this year.
Gotta be.
So I had it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, it's solid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the timeline on Twitter and everything. But matches that I was like, well, okay, they did such a great job at filling up the card.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, we knew what was going to happen when Ospreay and Omega. We seen it. They win it. They did it again. I do love them putting Sting and Jericho's match like in between that because you needed to calm down before you went to Bryan.
Yeah.
And those are vets. Like, though at this point, you're not expecting nothing huge from them. So don't even waste it by putting, say, the women or one of the other matches in between, because then it doesn't do them, it does the other people a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I just it took me for a ride. Even MJF. Just the way he to kick it off. And then what was so cool was the fact that he was tweeting. And I don't know if y'all saw he had live tweet. He's like, I scheduled this tweet because I've been and beat Ace already. Now he was 11 minutes late. But just the whole dynamic, But my thing was no longer we calling him Jungle Boy. That is Jack Perry. He is a man.
Hey, let me tell you something, Jack Perry. You're a dead man.
Woo,
I watched AEW Dynamite tonight. Look at me. I know you're watching the show, Jungle Boy.
You watched it for that reason, right?
Bro, I listened. I was waiting the whole show. And I knew it. As soon as he was out there, it wasn't no conversation. The music hit. It was on site. My man Hook chased him out the ring into the parking lot. He jumped inside of an SUV and tried to get out of there. Hey, Jack Boy, you are a dead man. Courtesy of Hook. It's on. You heard what Taz said. So go ahead, Brian. I had to put that out there since you brought it up because I was waiting for my guy.
It's cool. Shout out to Ciendol in the building. Make sure y'all check out Ciendol B. She says Kenny and Ospreay, but Orange Cassidy was impressive.
Yes, he was. Listen to me. He's
that
good,
dude
man.
is working.
He is good. He is good. Orange Cassidy is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, old heads gaming 74. Appreciate you tuning in. Oh, they got the old school Madden cover.
Oh, we got some. Okay, so we got some people. We got some people in the building, man. So let's keep going, man. I'll definitely. You know who looked good though? I'm not gonna lie to you. CM Punk looked good versus Satoshi Kojima. I was like,
Punk. I'm
listen to me. Sting's match, Sting, Jericho, that match kind of fell flat to me. And I know a lot of people, I know me and brother Brandon talked about it. And Brandon, you can speak on it as well when we talked about the opening match with Tanahashi and MJF. And he was like, man, it doesn't look like Tanahashi looks like he's slowed down a bit, like he wasn't wrestling his same style. And I was like, well, you gotta remember. Oh, this is my guy. That's C. What's up, C? I didn't know you was in the building. We got family in the building. What's good,
Family?
brother? Yeah. What's up, C?
Oh, that's what it is.
That's my people.
Justin then came through.
Oh, so look,
Jungle Boy came Jungle Man.
CM Punk. Listen to me. CM Punk look really good. I was like, see, this is why they paid him man the big bucks. But MJF and Tanahashi, man, they definitely put on a show. And like I said, Brandon was looking at it. He said, man, something seems off. And I was like, man, you got to understand something. MJF is a sports entertainer. Like he's in the ring telling stories, facial expressions, his comments. I'm like, man, this guy gets it. And Tanahashi's used to wrestling matches where your storylines start at the beginning of the match and they conclude at the end of the match. That's why they have the media, they have the promos at the end of the matches, press conference at the beginning, and the kind of media scrums at the end. Because that's kind of where your stories kind of develop. And in between, it's the in-ring action. That's kind of how it goes down. And it was a different look for Tanahashi, but I think it made sense because MJF needed that match more than anybody. He needs to have these meaningful matches against the main event players of professional wrestling. And Tanahashi is definitely one of them.
Don't say that. Just keep on going. So
wow.
He said
Dylan, no, see, that's Dylan. He's tripping out.
Yeah, it's Dylan.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you my thing about the show. I do agree it was probably AEW's best pay-per-view thus far, and it's actually crazy. I'm going to say this because I don't want people to keep thinking I always bash AEW.
That's true.
Keep it all the way 100. The interview was more. So I think that Tony Khan proved a point that I said. He's a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
because he gave us what every wrestling fan wants, and he put like we all said, if the main event wasn't Okada and Bryan, he was going to be crazy. And everybody keeps talking about Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Yes, I think that they had arguably the best match, the match of the year candidate, and that match to me couldn't have done anything better. But that takes me back to my point of Kenny Omega's gimmick being watch my rematch. Because that match was it had so many. And that kick out at 1 is going to be talked about until next year for Forbidden Door, or at least until they wrestle again at the very, very bare minimum. When they wrestle again in New Japan for round 3, we're going to be talking about that kick out at 1, not the Tiger Driver 91. Is that what it is?
Yep, Tiger Driver 91. I've been hearing that all week.
Right. So, and everybody's saying, oh my God, we're not safe. Oh, it wasn't safe. My thing is, if Kenny Omega trusted Will Ospreay to hit him with that, allow him. But we ain't say nothing with Christian. Bashed Kenny Omega head on that chair during that match, and he hit him with that. That was okay, though. Nobody outraged. But this was visually a New Japan style match. And just, oh, you can take it off now. Y'all still got this.
No, the way trolling.
Okay. I'm going to just say this about it.
You heard me react to it.
I'm going to just say this. The only problem I really had, and I'll talk about some matches and highlights, it felt like I didn't get a chance to breathe. And I think WWE does it too much, where they let you breathe too much. And Tony Khan was like, nope, go. Okay, nope, go. Nope, go. Nope,
what
go.
You mean?
Nope, go. Nope, go.
Matches or in one match or throughout the show?
Throughout the show. It really didn't give you a chance. Like, put it like this. If you had to go to the bathroom, you didn't know when to go. If you needed to go get something to eat, you're like, I'm scared of what I'm going to miss next. Nope, I can't. Bro. Because from...
But you know what, though? I'm not mad at that because that's how New Japan has booked their shows.
No, I'm not saying I'm mad. I'm just saying it's his pay-per-views always deliver.
Sure.
And I'm always mad about the follow-up. And I'm just going to say this.
Well, yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I could have did without the AEW title match, and I could have did without the New Japan title match. Because just because it was Forbidden Door and those championships, those matches, you knew they were going to be, nobody was going to lose. It was no stakes. It didn't feel like the champion was a threat. So I really was invested in it. I was more invested in Zack Sabre Jr., Orange Cassidy, Daniel Garcia, and who am I missing? Zach and who am I missing?
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Shibata.
Yeah, Shibata.
Katsuyori Shibata.
It took me a minute. I was like, oh shoot, there's 3 champions in this match and only Orange Cassidy. I don't know what his plan is for Orange Cassidy. I don't know if he's just about to be the face of Rampage, Collision, or something. He's got to have something planned for this man, because even when he won in a heel fashion, I was still okay with it. I said, it makes sense. He's saving his title. I'm perfectly okay with it. And even with the Elite and Eddie Kingston, that was a storytelling match.
Yep.
But it wasn't bad. It was just they were telling the story.
Sure.
And I was like, I get it. They want to pick up these stories.
Followed up on AEW too.
Huh?
It followed up. I gotta go back and rewatch it, but it was some bloodshed tonight.
Well, I missed it tonight because I had a meeting and then I came home. But I'm just saying, I personally believe that that pay-per-view, we can watch it 5 years from now and still have the same effect, because it didn't disappoint. And I'm gonna just say this about the main event. I've seen polls, I've seen people online talking about Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay was better, but this main event, I don't think we really decided who the best wrestler in the world is, because this match is going to be a trilogy, if not and I don't want to downplay it because I don't want to put them on the same playing field when I say this, so I'm going to try to choose my words wisely. When you talk about rivalry,
brother,
like a Rock and Hogan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Did you want to see it again? No, this is a Rock and Austin where I want to see them wrestle again. This is a John Cena and Edge. Okay, what else are they going to do? This is you know what I mean? Like, this is a rivalry that you're like, what else I'm glad I got the match, but now I want more. I want to see it again. But I don't need to see it next month or 6 months from now. I'll be okay if part 2 is next year at Forbidden Door. I'll be okay if it's in January when we get part 2.
I was about to say, you can't forget about Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't
know if his arm is going to be healed by then.
But I'm saying I'm perfect. Like, the match gave me what I needed because Daniel Bryan told that story, and you could tell he was trying to show, I'm going to out wrestle Okada. Don't you worry. I know Okada has been in that same conversation about being the best wrestler in the world, but I want to prove in this ring tonight, I'm going to out wrestle this man. And that's what he did. But, but it's just like the first time we saw, let's say, I'm going to stick with Rock and Stone Cold. Yeah, I'm going to just say that. The first time we saw him, we was like, wow, that was a good match. But then when they ran it back, you're like, dang, that was a good match. And then you're like, when they teased it again, you're like, all right, we're going to see this again. You know what I mean? Like, it never lost its luster. It was just enough each match to make you say, I'm satisfied with that, but I kind of want another one.
I'm going to say this about that match. Bryan and Okada gave you moments. And what I mean moments, first of all, the entrance. When...
Nice touch.
I didn't, I always tell people I'm a Daniel Bryan fan. That's when I became, hip to him. I wasn't going to be one of the people, I was a Bryan Danielson fan back in the day. But even when I heard that music, I was like, oh, this is special.
Yeah.
Right. And then, like, listening to his post-media scrum where he said, like, he was mad about something, but then he heard the song and it put him in the right headspace. And then Okada's music hit. And then to see the money come down. And then, like, he's such a good sports entertainer because when he started saying that, he was talking about it made him mad because he grew up poor, and to see, like, all this money just essentially being wasted, it just made him want to beat Okada up. So when you're watching the match, you see that translate. So you see all of the storytelling aspect inside. You knew you was going to get a good match. But to me, you got a good wrestling match, but you also got a great story being told in a sports entertainment style that it was everything that I had hoped it to be and more.
And see what Dylan said, I was expecting a New Japan style entrance, at least for Kenny Omega. I wanted to see him and Will Ospreay over the top entrance. And even with Okada, I wanted something else. So I wanted Daniel Bryan, like, the graphic was cool with the dragon and everything. And I'm gonna give you an example. Like, remember when Wesley was defending the North American title and he had the fire? He came from beyond the rock. Something little like that they were saying, like, a difference with the entrance. I wanted the dragon at the beginning was cool in the final countdown, but I wanted a little bit more of an entrance, because not to say the entrance would have made the match better. It's just, New Japan, when it's the big fight, they give you the best entrance. You're like, oh, that was different.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, no doubt.
And shout out to Tony Khan spitting that bread out for that song.
You know he paid for it.
He said it cost as much as a wrestler's salary.
Yeah. And I was like, sheesh. And then the fans doing the yes chants, and reportedly they WWE asked Bryan not to do that there, but I mean,
that's his second time doing it, right? Because the first time was when he was fighting
MJF, right?
MJF.
Yeah,
he felt it. He was in that moment. You could tell.
That's the thing.
Technically, he didn't say anything. Moment. He just did the hand gesture. That doesn't count. The gestures doesn't count, does it? He just doesn't use it for money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's not putting on T-shirts. He didn't say yes. He's just raising his hands. Workaround. Yeah, definitely.
But you can tell he was, because that's him. That's part of his. If somebody started doing this, when they were hawking up, you're like, wait a minute, why are you hawking up? That's his power up move. That's his.
And that's literally crowd control. Because y'all remember when he did that with Bray Wyatt, with the Wyatt family, and he left him, and then he slowly but surely did it, and it was just the crowd went nuts.
They were into it.
Man, listen, it was AEW Forbidden Doors by far. Like I said, one of the best things I've seen from AEW, which leaves me, everybody, and I'm glad everybody's here, because it's time for me to do what I said I was going to do. I'm a man, and it's time for me to man up, just like the Briscoes used to say.
Man up. Man up.
It's officially time for my public service announcement. That's right. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I didn't tell the brothers what's going on. But this is something that needs to be done. And I'm glad everybody's watching, because this is officially my public service announcement. I got a sheet here. So you go. All right.
Let's tweet this out at Wrestling Wrealm. Tell your people,
Now this is going to be it, man. I'm going to say it.
Brother, he was like, wait a second.
This is it, man. This is a public service announcement. After watching AEW Forbidden Door, and Tony Khan finally gave me what I've been looking for years now, when it comes to what I feel like AEW can be, what it brings to the table. And as a man, it's finally time for me to admit and to say that I am publicly thanking Tony Khan for what he has done in AEW, for what he has done for Ring of Honor, what he has done specifically for the world of professional wrestling. I have given AEW and Tony Khan a hard time all the way because of their potential. And I honestly feel like at this point, they're finally starting to turn the corner for me to start to be able to digest the product that they're putting out there. And I can genuinely enjoy it for the most part. What am I thanking him for? Let me have a list. Thank you for putting on shows like AEW Forbidden Door. I want to thank Tony Khan and AEW for giving my guys a platform to be great. Guys like Samoa Joe, who's currently the Ring of Honor television champion. Guys like Daniel Bryan for allowing him to be an amped up version of who he was on the independents before he signed his WWE contract. Guys like Pentagon and Ray Phoenix, Cesaro. I want to thank AEW.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just going to keep you right where you're at right now.
That went through. I was trying to turn on the mic.
No, that definitely gave it a Dusty. I want to thank.
My bad.
No, it's fine. Dusty Rhodes just came out of nowhere. I want to thank Tony Khan for purchasing and keeping Ring of Honor alive. Ring of Honor and its catalog has been very important to me in the wrestling realm and our journey. I want to thank Tony Khan for designing the new Ring of Honor TV title. This by far is my favorite version of Ring of Honor's television title. It's an absolute beauty, and I need this in my collection.
That got like those intercontinental Reggie Park crescents.
It's like a mix between the original, the second version of the TV title, the Reggie Parks version, and then like some IC United States Championship off. So this is a beautiful title. This thing that he was awarded to Samoa Joe. Once again, I want to thank. So look at that. Thank you, Tony Khan. I appreciate that. I want to thank Tony Khan for providing merchandise and action figures of guys that we didn't have, that now we have. AEW by Jazzwares. And most recently, so we have guys like, we got action figures of Kenny Omega. We got action figures of the Young Bucks, the Lucha Brothers, CM Punk, Jay White, Cody Rhodes, etc. Hook. I want to thank AEW for Sting's debut t-shirt. That's probably one of the coolest t-shirts I've ever seen produced for Sting, and they have definitely done right by the legends. Also, I want to thank AEW and Tony Khan for the return of CM Punk. It was a moment that wrestling fans alike enjoyed and had a great time with, and I think that's it. That is my public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen. I am officially giving Tony Khan and AEW their credit. We have given them a hard way to go because of, once again, like I said, they have such strong potential. But I genuinely, honestly believe that AEW is doing a solid job right now. Of course, there's a lot of things that's still missing, a lot of disconnects here and there, but the product is bearable to watch. They've done some amazing things. They've given us some classic memories. And Tony Khan is a genuine wrestling fan that cares about the product and the people who are involved in the products. So there you go. The realness himself, officially. Thank you. Yep. Giving Tony Khan and AEW the credit they actually deserve. There it is. I said it. Wow. I said it. There it is, man.
I mean, I was thinking Trish today, but you're thinking Tony.
I mean, it's he. Listen to me. After Okada versus Daniel Bryan is something that we never thought we'd see.
All right, Raj. There you go. You happy?
See that? There it is. Like, there it is, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm watching. I'm like, yo, he deserves some credit, man. Yo, I actually have one. I have one already. Remember, I had one. Remember, I made one
when Bryan Danielson went over.
You know what? I should have had my graphic up here ready for that. But man, I listen. He earned it, man. He earned it. So
yeah, it was an incredible show, man. This is why we love wrestling.
I mean, he listened to me. He checked all the boxes, man. He gave me action figures. He gave me moments. He gave me Jay White on American television. He gave me.
Nope, he still got one thing to do.
He's got quite a few things to do.
No, he got one thing to do.
What's that?
Before I give him the produce the wrestling belts at affordable price.
Well,
and make it regularly available.
Listen to me. He has done everything else. Available.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm playing that video game.
Yeah, I mean, it's
maybe the video game money will help them get into the.
Nah, you lose money on a video game, bro. At least the first one.
I was just trying to be. I was trying to be hopeful.
No, I feel you.
So yeah, so there it is. I had to put it out there, man. So I like I said, man, he's giving me everything I asked for, man. I'm like, well, nice. It's not perfect, but I watched Dynamite
we're
today.
all elite geeks because we know she gonna have fun with this one.
Oh god,
the one you see this. I was
listen. You see, Brother Brandon brought out the Ring of Honor TV title. That's the Jay Lethal title.
I was gonna say the Jay Lethal title.
I mean, think about it. Next week we're getting Roderick Strong versus is it CM Punk? No,
I'm not sure, but this Owen tournament look like it's gonna be fun.
No, it's Jay White. Is it Jay White? No, it's Samoa Joe. I'm tripping. We getting Roderick Strong versus Samoa Joe for the Owen Hart quarterfinals. Owen Hart Classic tournament. I'm like, come on, man. You kidding me?
I do have one more thing to say about AEW before we move on. Or I should say the AEW Ring of Honor brand. Kiera Hogan and Athena.
Tore the house down. Black Girl Magic.
Yes, and to be able to see two black women do that on that platform, amazing. I'm ready. You know, it's like that's one of the things I've always complained about was the storytelling. Willow went out there the other night. Her and Toni Storm put on an incredible match. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, obviously I was rooting for Willow. I think they did the best that they could, even though the women. Yeah, I was gonna say the women couldn't have the Forbidden Door due to the Stardom schedule.
Right.
But they'll get their moment. But it made sense. Put the New Japan Strong champion on there. I mean, Willow Nightingale, y'all know how I feel about her. She's a superstar waiting to go to that next level. So just an incredible match. But Kiera Hogan and Athena, they beat the hell out of each other. I'm like, golly.
Willow wasn't at the first Black Wrestle Fest, was she?
No.
Okay. I didn't think she was.
Nah, she wasn't. Man, Black Wrestle first. Wait. No.
Okay.
But she was, I think she was there the next day.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because I thought she was, working.
Don't forget about Billy Starks.
Yeah, she just like
That-
man, you talk about life. Finding a job right after high school. She already
But
living.
she was
You ain't
wrestling.
lying.
Like, she's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, but you know, like she did her internships and stuff, and now it's like, okay, she's 18, she can get a contract, and she living up to it.
Man,
I was certainly impressed with her with the pre-show match. That was wow. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
I like Ring of Honor, and I like what Tony Khan is doing with it. I don't mind the fans not responding to it the same way they respond to AEW, because Ring of Honor is supposed to be a smaller demographic anyway. So I'm okay with it, man. But man, he has put forth an effort to keep that brand alive. I want to see a little bit more separation of it, just so we can see guys, like a legit brand split. But trust me, we could have nothing right now. We can have straight DVDs. So.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, as we got to transit. Usually, I would say something slick out the mouth about AEW at this point, even though AEW Collision's numbers went down. Couldn't help myself. As we transition into WWE Money in the Bank. Saturday,
No casual wrestler.
Saturday, July 1st at 3 p. Was it 3 p.m.
3
Eastern?
p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, 12 p.m. Pacific time in London, England. First of all, gentlemen, how do you guys feel about Money in the Bank being abroad in London, England this year?
I wish I could be there.
Okay, trust me.
Bucket list is to go to a show over there.
If there's ever a trip to be flew out to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have your passport ready? You might get the call. You never know.
So I gotta get it renewed, like
that's
ASAP. Because matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go do that tomorrow.
Please do, because it's 7 to 9 weeks expedited, so 13 weeks long term.
Shout out the one and only the legend himself, Dwayne Wickham.
Top dog.
Yeah, one of the best gifts he gave me. I ain't get to use it what we were supposed to use it for, but he was like, "Wait, man, you got your passport, so you're good. You're good to go." But
not even getting his passport stories. Get yourselves a mentor that understands the value of passports.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it at that. But gentlemen, Money in the Bank this year in London, England, O2 Arena.
Yep,
3:00 Saturday, 3 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. Are you guys prepared for this audience? Now we've been out the country early in the year. We were at what was the Clash at the Castle?
Yeah,
in Wales. So we was in the United Kingdom, but now we're going to London, England this year. Are you guys excited for WWE kind of taking a lot of these pay-per-views over the water? We had Puerto Rico, we had Wales, now we're in London, England, and we have an opportunity for that version of the audience. First of all, the reason I ask is because it seems that up to this point, every time the WWE has traveled outside the country, we've gotten all hot audiences. And these hot audiences have made the shows that much more enjoyable for us fans who are watching abroad or those who are watching from a distance. So are you guys excited for what first of all, it's London, England. The fans out there are very intense. If anybody knows about who they are in regards to how they feel about their sports teams, especially their football teams and, their football clubs, they can get pretty intense. So strong and rich wrestling culture in London, England, and they get Money in the Bank. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going to step on you right. I think it's a great thing because I think us in the United States, we've gotten spoiled with wrestling, and I think seeing these crowds' reaction and giving them a chance to get what they haven't gotten pre-pandemic for some of them, if not longer, gives them a chance to really, because the fan interaction will help the wrestlers put that extra oomph on it and have them go to the next level in their performances. So I'm excited that they get to go travel and other countries get to see it, because the only time they really get to travel is to WrestleMania, and it's here. So I'm excited the fact that this PLE, thank you, not pay-per-view, this PLE is not in the United States, because it gives us a chance to see something different and see what those wrestlers can do.
What about you, brother Hugh? How do you feel about WWE being across the water once again for a staple pay-per-view, premium live events like Money in the Bank?
Well, Triple H is doing exactly what he said he was going to do in the first place.
Yeah, global
Taking
expansion.
thing international, right? Expanding. That's what I'm hyped for. Like y'all said, the crowd is amazing. You know, they're crazy over there when it comes to running and just sports in general, or any type of entertainment in general. So they're gonna love it that they have a live event. Money in the Bank. That's like one of the big PLEs, one of the biggest ones. I guess you can say a top 5 now. Can you say top 5?
One of the. I think so. I think it's probably been that way for a while. And it's going to keep going that way, especially with Triple H kind of steering the ship. It's because I know he wanted to take that match away from everything else and say, let's make sure it stays where it needs to stay at this one event, so that once again it's special. But it's also one of the most exciting events, is because it keeps people on the edge of their seats. So but of course, Brian H found the graphic. Did you upload this, Brian H?
Yes, it's already there. We got to give a shout out to Dylan.
Look, Dylan's quick. Look at that. You guys are quick, man. You guys don't waste any time. All right. I just want that to sit there for a second. So there you go. The realness.
Oh man.
But yeah, Brian H.
Yeah, I'm excited about anytime, like you brought it up, we get spoiled. You know, don't take all our events. You know, still leave WrestleMania over here unless you go to Canada.
Give them some of them. You know what I mean? We got
but
one every month. Go somewhere else sometime.
But it does help, like when you get to see like that fan interaction. It's kind of like when the NFL goes over to London, and we've seen baseball go over to London. It's not so much about the games, because in real talk, NFL gave them like the Jaguars every year, because like before a while ago, nobody was rocking with the Jaguars, but over there
they were excited to see American football.
Yeah, and you see those plethora of jerseys, you know. So that's what's going to be exciting. Just seeing that, and man, I know it would be nice for the people. I don't want to see a cash in unless it's the men's. I don't want to see the women cash in.
Okay.
Why can't they hold it for a little bit?
Yeah, the women, they 6-0, and 5 of them has not been longer than 24 hours.
Listen, we seem to have a little bit of the little dissension in the ranks, but we'll let's jump into it. So let's look at the match card so far for Money in the Bank. So we're looking at the men's Money in the Bank ladder match for the Money in the Bank contract, which contains Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Old Butchie, aka Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. And in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. We're also looking at Cody Rhodes versus Dominik, of course, with Rhea Ripley by her side. Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be exciting. The Bloodline, of course, the Civil War, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa with Paul Heyman, the Wise Man versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay.
That sounds familiar.
Bloodline Civil War. Yep. And we also have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. That's Liv Morgan and Raquel have decided that they have never lost the title, so they want a shot back at what they never lost. And we have them back. And then we also have. There you go. They definitely unified the titles. And we also have a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship with my guy Gunther and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle doesn't stand a chance, especially not in London, England.
I don't know.
No, come on, man. Don't cut it out. Cut it out, man. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's not Sheamus. See, Sheamus had a shot because he's from, like, come on now.
Riddle. The only reason why I say Riddle is because he's a shoot fighter, and it makes it more believable than just throwing him in there with Ali or somebody or Ricochet.
I get that, because Riddle is violent. Riddle can, because you see what happened with
the only, like, I don't think he's going to win by any means. I think Gunther is going to have that title as long as he wants it. Especially he's going to pass Honky Tonk Man.
Oh yeah, but he has time. It's time for somebody to pass Honky. No offense,
but straight up.
This is like, I'm glad it's this match, because it's like, oh, I can see him taking the title. Like, it's not unbelievable.
Okay. No, look at Ilya Dragunov. Like, he caught Walter slipping. Like, you feel me? And then he's like, "Nah, I'm done." Like, we watched that. That was I guess the last of the NXT takeovers before they kind of tried to rebrand NXT. And I was like, that's how Walter could have been beat because he looked unstoppable. At first, I thought Pete Dunne was unstoppable, and then Walter comes out of the blue, and I'm like, oh geez, this guy's not gonna be beat. And like, how the heck is, this guy? But it was tactical. You know what I mean? He wore him down and caught him slipping, and those shots to the back of the neck. It was like, oh well, it makes sense why anybody would tap out after that. That's any human being that's human. After you saw all the red marks, so then Riddle's on the same level. Like he's like you say, he's a shoot fighter. He could hurt Gunta, but Gunta never rolls by himself. He has muscle. But hey, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn may have Riddle's back as they travel across the water. Now we kind of mentioned everything. Is there anything? There's 7 matches. We kind of already talked about Gunta and Riddle. And we kind of got into the women's tag team match. It's going to be an interesting matchup because they recently merged the titles. They absolved them. But let's talk about probably the 3 or 4 matches that make the most the money makers. Let's start with Cody Rhodes and Dominik Mysterio, and we'll work our way down. Now I was watching AEW tonight because that's what I do now. I watch AEW. And I've been watching Sammy Guevara's progression, right? And I kept saying to myself, man, can you imagine if him and Dominik Mysterio walked into a room together? they were oh man, the boo, like let alone them being a tag team, man, the boos would be ridiculous. But
I'll say this though about Sammy.
Yes, sir.
If more people tuned in that reality show, he wouldn't be a heel.
Yeah,
he has that story that'll suck you in and make you root for him.
There you go.
Him and his lady. If they was booked as baby faces and more people paid attention, they could be top faces in that company.
Yeah, he has learned from the school of Jericho. And man, once again, I give credit to Chris Jericho, and because I wasn't high on Sammy before, not because he wasn't talented, not because he wasn't what he was. I'm not a fan of the skinny guys, but you can look at him and clearly tell he's working on his frame. And look at him. And listen, and Dylan, you know what? I would happily accept. And I would shake old Tony's hand and say, Tony.
Nah, you know how he gonna give you the biggest hug.
You're gonna say, Tony,
you nice and tall too.
And then I'm gonna ask what, and then I'm gonna ask him, what's up with the Ring of Honor TV titles? Like, are you guys selling those? Anyway.
No, but he asked me, can he blink?
Yeah, because he has the big bug eyes in his pressers. But I mean, so Dominik Mysterio's gotta be. I know we all kind of golfed at the idea of him being a heel because it was like, oh, it's not gonna make any sense. Like, it doesn't, no one's gonna boo him. He's kind of the baby face baby, literally baby of Rey Mysterio. But then, man, this guy has morphed into one of the biggest heels in this generation of pro wrestling. And it's just like, man, he's on MJF levels, and MJF is the champion of his organization. Oh, like you see what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you, so he's like, it reminds me of Vicky Guerrero, like when she was trying to talk and she said, excuse me, and people were just booing for fun. Like I'll never forget Texas. So Dominik Mysterio's treading those waters. And of course, Dominik Mysterio is a young guy and he's still in grad school. That's why he gets to work with all the heavy hitters and the major players. And now he gets a chance to work on this big stage with Cody Rhodes. I have watched Dominik Mysterio mature, develop in every area: his physique, his look, his attitude, his performance as far as psychology, the little things that he does, as well as his in-ring performance. I think
hard times in the pen, man.
Listen, that 2.5 hours he did on a Saturday morning, it got to him, and it's obvious. It had some edge to him. I think we see a different version. I think Dominik Mysterio goes to the next level with this match against Cody Rhodes. What do you guys think?
Bro, you got the top heel in the company. And then for all intents and purposes, the top babyface on Raw.
Yeah, big time.
With no titles on the line, but like this is everything. Like this is what I want to see. Like I think this match, it's going to be crazy. And Dylan brought up, do we see a Brock sighting? I find that,
oh man, see
Brock is like, it's tricky, right? Because
y'all go again.
Do you bring Brock in? You send him all the way overseas, right? Where you want to sell extra tickets by advertising them, but WWE overseas because they don't get it all the time, sells itself. So you
There you
can
go.
throw him in there without losing money. But I think, I just think that, like, one, he's going to get another wrestling school lesson, Dominik, that is, and stop it. I have on good authority that those aren't piped in boos.
Oh, you can tell when they are. I'm gonna say, if you watch the show, they start off being piped. Because how do you show the whole arena boo and people sitting there like this?
But I'm saying, the Doms,
they eventually start booing when he get to talking. But watch, when he comes to the ring and all those boos, as soon as he starts talking, you'll see people start to move.
They're not piped in boos.
I'm telling you.
We've watched.
Rose-colored glasses off. Watch what he.
I've been in the arena.
He comes. I'm saying recently, Brian. You got to listen to what I'm saying because you quick to respond. Watch.
No, but you sounded like the rest of the IWC.
I'm telling you because I didn't believe it until I watched it. When you watch, as soon as he picks up the mic, people start moving. When he comes to the ring, he's booed and nobody's moving. As soon as he starts talking, that's when he gets booed by real people.
Clip it off and post it.
Huh?
If you don't clip it off and post it, it's not real.
Okay.
Well,
I'll record it on Raw and I'll go to what you call it. You'll see the people are literally just sitting there. When he starts talking, they start moving. How do you move like this?
He's the most over heel.
How do you move like this? Explain to me.
We've got another.
How is the whole arena booing, and in the hard cam you see the whole row sitting there like this?
Well, maybe that one row is maybe that one row isn't the one that's booing.
Exactly. Right.
Now y'all been to enough shows to know the difference in one person booing or a whole row or a whole section not booing.
Hey, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you because now I got to pay attention. I'm like, are these?
Yeah, I didn't even. When they was talking about pipe the noise, I was like, even with the cheers, and I'm like, nobody's cheering. Like when the camera pans around, I'm like, nobody's cheering, but they're making it seem like this is the greatest one. I'm like, oh my God, these people are really just sitting there.
Let me ask you a question. Now, do you think that is piped in through the live audience or just through the television? Like, you know how like when they do the entrances from TV, we see the little digital graphics popping up, right? Because we're watching from TV. Is that the same from like, do you think that where's the crowd noise coming in? Is it pumped into television?
I think it's just TV. I don't think they do it in the arena. I think it's just on TV. Because even so, and he will say it, when we were at Raw, like some of the ovations we were getting, and you're like, wow. But then if you watch it next week, like, but why is this not translating to TV? Like, that's not what we saw. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is something different because you got to sell the product. And I'm not taking anything away from Dominik. He's a great heel. Mm-hmm. He's a great character. It's great development. But stop making me think that he's worse than what he is when he opened his mouth, let the people boo him. Like Finn. They weren't piped in when people were singing. Finn was trying to stay focused, but them people wouldn't stop singing over top of him.
Yeah, Finn is a pro because he had to keep going, and you can tell he had to and he was trying to let the crowd know, like, I hear you and you sound stupid. Like he was trying to use them a part of his promo. I said, man, they try to they just war chanted my man's promo, but he got through it like a pro. So now you got me itchy, like, oh man, I gotta pay attention now.
Yeah, watch his intro. When his music hit, they're sitting there. Now, London might be a different thing. You got to watch it on Monday Night Raw. Watch it Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I don't think England is going to have any issues. But what do you think about Dominik's progression, even as a heel? Like, so you feel like there may be allegedly piped in boos, but what do you feel about his progression as a heel at this point? I think I'm telling you, he's starting to move into that. Like he reminds me of D'Lo Brown. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
how like at one point he was kind of an accessory, but after a while he started to kind of tread his own water and made a name for himself. Like that's the progression I'm seeing where he is now. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think about where Dominik is now compared to where? Because I don't think anybody expected him to be a heel, and I don't think many people believed that it was going to work. But here he is now.
Is he bigger than the Judgment Day right now?
I don't think he is, man. I think they fit it. I think they're all carrying their own weight now. Because before they was like Edge's goons, right? Because Edge is a Hall of Famer. Like he kind of overshadowed the group, and then they got Edge out, and Finn came in, and they allowed Finn to do like NXT Finn, like be a legit heel. And I remember Vince McMahon
Right.
said, "I loved your heel work in NXT," but then he brought it back as a face. But it's like I feel like Finn fits in with that group a little bit more. And I feel like now before it was like Finn and the Outcast, and they're just doing what they're like. They were kind of rebellious. Now it's like you look at all four of those. First of all, they're all having standalone moments on their own. Think about it. Like we're watching the Judgment Day. Damian Priest has a match by himself. He's coming out there by himself. He's not bringing the group. He's main eventing Raw against Cody Rhodes, carrying his own, and he looks phenomenal. Like everything he does, I'm like, dude, really turning this corner. Yeah, and then you see Dominik and Rhea Ripley doing their own thing. They got their own stuff on both sides, whether it's behind Rhea or it's behind her old dum, and they're doing their own thing. And then you turn and look at Finn. Finn got his World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins on this same card, and he's not out there with the group. You're watching a faction handle their own business and still be a faction at the same time. This is what Bryan was talking about. I'm like, dude, that's when you know your faction is legit. It's because everybody's handling their own business, and then we come together when we come together.
Yep. Like
Damian Priest is in the Money in the Bank, the match. Like there's nobody not involved in this match card, and the Judgment Day was a joke at first to me, not a joke, but I was like, let's see what you guys do with
took
this.
them a while to get going,
and now they like the purple gang. They're like Bang Babies from Static Shock. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
because Dom did hard times.
They call them the Wish version of House of Black. It's like what you get when you order something from Wish, but now
they're kind of like I'm like
they were, but now they're something totally different.
It's like it's almost like Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon came out trying to be Tony Montana. You know what I mean? He was trying to be Scarface, but then eventually Razor Ramon just became Razor Ramon, and he didn't have to do the Cuban accent, man. The way it wasn't an accent, it became how he talked. The toothpick was an accessory. The chains wasn't looking like a drug lord, a Cuban drug lord. Now it just became he just looks like Razor Ramon. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're saying with all this young talent. And not that they're like, because Damian Priest isn't young by any means, but they're still all fresh faces, and these guys are carrying the shows.
But that's the thing too, like you said, it's a good mix of veterans and the present and the future. Rhea's doing her thing on top of the women's division, but she's not presented behind them. She's presented alongside them.
She's been the front runner for a lot of the stuff they've done.
But it's like now we can finally, when they was telling us for the longest time, there is no leader. Now we finally see it. And I mean, for all intents and crazier things than happen. But Saturday we could be looking at two members, one, wear the World Heavyweight Championship. You imagine if Finn wins the title and then Damian Priest cashes in on Finn.
Oh boy, I would listen.
There's already some tension. Yeah,
it would be very Dusty Rhodes like, because Dusty Rhodes will tell you quickly once you ride one wave, you got to hop off and get to another one immediately. Like you got to leave while it's hot, because after a while you have nowhere for it to go. But like I said, we'll definitely see what the Judgment Day is all over the card. Of course, like I said, you have Seth Rollins and Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that match is going to stand alone. You talking about major players. Thank God for Triple H, man, because Finn is finally being booked in the light that he's supposed to be. And and he's proven, like Seth, you don't have to be the world champion. He's top guy. Like Finn was always a top guy, but he was just smiling and doing novelty matches and giving everybody good matches. And I'm like, dude, he's supposed to be a top guy. You're right. Like he was almost like a top level utility guy. And it's like, no, he's being booked the correct way. So that match in itself is going to be ridiculous. But we got to get ready to wrap this up, and we got to make our picks. But we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the freaking Bloodline Civil War. This has been a subject of our shows for the last month and a half. And now we are finally here. Bryan H, you're probably distraught about this, and I don't give a goddamn. Because because here's a conflict, Brother Brandon and Brother Hugh. I've been raising my ones for one half of the show. Bryan has been raising his ones for all of the show. And I'm like, look, man, I'm only with you half of the way, because I was with the Usos off break. I said, when the Usos out there by themselves, I'm raising my ones. When they came out there as a clique, I'm like, nah, man, y'all cheat. I'm tired of it. Bryan H is a proud member of the Bloodline. It is what it is.
Doggone right. Samoan Dynasty, all that.
I mean, yeah, this is what we come from. Those guys help us break into the business. So that's just we have an affinity for the Samoan wrestling down in the Fatu Anawai wrestling.
Broke bread with him at during Elimination Chamber down at Jimmy Seafood. So it's all love.
I mean, wonderful family. Like, I hate to sound like a old grandma. Good people, man. So to see them have this big platform, you know what I mean? Here we are. Let's start with you, Bryan. Are you split? What happens in this Bloodline Civil War? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, because this is the last thing I'm not gonna speak on. I'm gonna let you guys go on talking. I would be remiss if I did not mention to you that I did not think that this is going to be end of anything. To me, this is another to be continued situation, but I have no idea what's going to happen and where this is going to go. Bryan, help me understand this, brother.
I'm glad you brought that up while I do some SEO stuff. You know, it's funny you say that because reportedly they are working on things and working on a wild finish in a secret location.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm not doing this. Bye. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Right. And that's the best thing about this, that nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's not going to leak, and I'm here for it. But bro, I'm with you. Nobody
knew Solo was in. Nobody knew Solo was in Wales either.
Bingo. And Dylan is saying, he brought up our boy Lance, said he wouldn't be surprised if we see a new member like him debut. Lance had already told us he's going to Japan.
I don't believe Lance.
But
you again, nobody's in the business, bro.
I was getting ready to say that. You hit it right on the head. You know, this ain't the end of nothing. You know, it's not the end of anything. Look, I keep telling people Roman does not have to defend the title because right now the family isn't in order. And what's the one thing everybody on SmackDown is doing? Falling in line and staying out of family business. You know, everybody's like, Roman do defend the title. No, he don't need to. But he still got to feed the family, so he needs to hold on to those belts. And right now, they are out of whack. And the crazy thing is, it's like this. You can try to get involved and try to think you're going to sneak attack Roman to take his title. They might be beefing with each other, but that's the thing. It's a civil war. They're going to destroy you for even thinking about it, and they'll handle business again later. So with that being said, I don't think you know, it would be nice to say, oh yeah, the Usos going to prevail, you know, and they'll beat up Solo, and then they'll cause an issue with Roman and Solo. I don't know, man. This, you could easily have a non-finish and nobody would be upset. I just think they're going to fight, and guess what?
Something's going down.
I think we're going to see color.
Ooh.
I wouldn't look. I don't know. I don't know, man. Because I'm every time we do this, bro. Triple H got us looking crazy.
I'm staying out of it.
brother, Triple H be having us looking like 12-year-olds all over again. We all too grown to keep getting got by Triple H.
I'm tired of looking foolish, man. I'm tired of looking like a gump. You know I don't play with gumps.
Nah,
it's not hard for you to look like a gump, though.
I knew you was
right? Look just like you, right?
brother Hugh, we've been, I don't know how to say this, man. We've been watching this for a while, right? And it's like, who benefits the most from winning this match in this Bloodline Civil War? And I ask you that because it's like, we know something's up. Like, come on, if there's anything we know, it's something's up. This is not the end of it. And it's like, the Usos want smoke now. They tired of it. They've been, because they said it. They said on SmackDown, brother. They say, yo, you have disrespected us, man. And enough is enough. We ain't kids no more. And they taking out baby brother. They jumped him the other day. Paul Heyman, they know what to do. He's standing there like, oh snap, they took out Solo. Like, real, because Solo's a bad man pajama. First of all, he ran into freaking Sheamus and they stopped the match. Sheamus was like, he's seen stars, which was perfect. Is because nobody had to lose the match. So they're showing you how intense this brother is, and then here come his brothers and they jumped him. And Paul Heyman's like, nobody drops Solo like that. And I'm like, what does it benefit the Usos to win this match at this point?
I mean, I think it just benefits them just to say, like, look, hey, we're still the Usos. We're still relevant. We're still on top. Like, we still who we are, you know. But overall, the whole storyline, I would say, it benefits Solo the most, honestly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, though.
Straight up. He came in. He played this. He's putting it to his spot, his position. He's the enforcer.
Yeah.
So now playing with Big Dog as soon as he came in. Usos they made their name. The good thing about the Usos though is that they're expressing themselves individually more now. So now we're getting to see more of them individually, and they're creating their own characters. But out of the whole thing, like Solo, most definitely he's going to benefit out of it the most. Roman is already established. The Usos they're already established. Let's establish Solo as a single star. He's going to do something crazy. I just know it, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I see. That's because Triple H got a second guessing. We were sure a couple months ago. We had this all figured out, but
we were
until
they took us for an emotional ride.
The dust.
Every time
all the dust.
Roman has been on a show, from the Royal Rumble, actually Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series. It was with Sammy. Royal Rumble was Sammy and KO. Obviously in Montreal. And then WrestleMania, and then Night of Champions. Somebody crying on Saturday.
But Brother Brandon, is somebody crying on Saturday? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, they've been getting the best of Roman all last couple of weeks. He doesn't do a whole lot of losing when it comes to these premium live events.
He doesn't.
So while we sitting here trying to figure out this Triple H dust, I'm gonna throw another wrinkle in the thing.
Here he go. See, this is nobody asked you to do that though, Brother Brandon. Every time somebody got their mind made up, here you come.
Because I'm tired of trying to figure out Triple H. I am tired. Like when I tell you I'm tired, I be sitting there thinking like, all right, what's the most random thing he gonna do? Because it's gonna be something else that's gonna make you say, holy. Because I remember stating a Civil War, but I'm gonna ask the comic book friendly people. What was the whole point of the Civil War? Remember, it was to choose a side.
There you go.
We haven't divided what the sides are. Is it the Usos versus the Bloodline, or is it the Usos versus Roman?
Because they both claiming to be the Bloodline. Like they're not giving up the title.
They're not giving up the We the One shirts either.
Nah, they said, we the Bloodline.
You know what I'm saying? So in order to have a real Civil War, just like in the comics, you need more players in it. You can't have a Civil War with 3 versus 2. Because what are they really fighting for? Because he done threw the wrinkle in. Oh, if I'm in the Bloodline, Heyman got to go. What you call like, no, Heyman is with me. He's my wise man. You can pick your own. He been planting all these seeds to make you think, what is the next story? Because if we only in chapter 2 or the 3rd inning, whatever we are, because remember, I went on record saying, I'm hard with Roman being champion until next WrestleMania. In this time frame, what are you going to do to keep us going? Because you probably got the rest of the year figured out. But I need more players. Added into the match.
That's why.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you what's throwing me off, what you just said, Brother Brandon, is because once again, I've had mentally, you said, that could be in the near future.
That's true. That's happening next pay-per-view.
But that could be Paul Heyman and Solo.
That's the reserve for Tony Khan and Dwayne. That's reserved.
I'm gonna bring my TNT title, see if he'll sign it.
Oh, he definitely probably. He'll have every wrestler in the back sign it for you, pal.
Hey, look, you hear Brother Rod,
and I'm here tonight with the real Dwayne Allen from the Wrestling Wrealm.
Man, listen, he might have us write a few ideas. Brother Rod's gonna text in the group text and say, "I'm proud of you, Dwayne. You got me in tears over here." Oh man, Uncle Rod, you're right, brother. Listen, I give that man nothing but respect. But here's what's throwing me off about what you said, Brandon. This is the part. That's why I hate when you talk, bro, because it's like I'm content until you sit back and Brandon sit back and just don't say nothing. And let everybody get out there. We be comfortable and content with what we come up with, and then he throws a wrinkle, and I'm like, now I got to throw my whole idea doing up because here's
Triple H done that to us.
Here's what you've made me do now. This is I got mad about this last week we was on the show. It's because when you think about it, when you put it that way, both the Bloodline, both the Usos, and Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are both saying that this is a civil war.
But they said that after Jimmy kicked him, remember? It was the following, it's a civil war between the Bloodline. We're like, now we just automatically start tagging it.
Here's the problem.
Remember, Payback would never see it coming. And when Roman came, not Payback, it was Extreme Rules. You never see it coming. And Roman came back.
Yeah.
So these taglines are always attached to Roman, and I can sit here and go back and add all the other. I think that we've been seeing some dust that we haven't been paying attention to.
And that's what's throwing me off, because if you think about it, what's a civil war? It's a war at home amongst it's a country divided against itself. At the end of the day, it's still a country, though, right?
What are we fighting? Which side are we choosing?
When America had a civil war between the North and the South, when the war was over, they were still the United States of America, correct?
Yep.
But when Iron Man and Tony Stark had their battle, it was, do we sign these accords or not? Are we the Avengers, or are we going to be the underground Dark Avengers? Which way are we going to go?
But both sides claim to be the Avengers. That's the part I'm saying. Like, so the bloodline is not really split up. They just fighting over who's doing what, because the Usos made it clear, bro. We stronger together anyway, but you're gonna stop disrespecting us.
And remember, they said we're gonna say welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. So they started that namesake, but they still rocking those We the One shirts. They didn't come out with some new Uso shirts, but Roman and Solo came out with new shirts that not say they're in the bloodline. They came out with new shirts.
Oh man.
I don't know. I'm gonna just say that. That's all I'm gonna say about.
I don't know. Once again, I feel like this is we on some Roddy Piper stuff where just when you think you got the answers, somebody changes the questions.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't mean to spend that much time on this, man, but this is what happens when we have to sit there fool around with the goddamn Fatu Anoa'i Samoan Wrestling Dynasty and the bloodline, all this craziness. But man, I still want to get into it, but we got to move on because it's getting late. We'll burn the midnight oil.
You know what you do? You go on Patreon, and there might be some thoughts there exclusively.
I think I need to do so. Like I think I might do that. Like I don't know. I gotta something's it's messing with me. Like it's bothering me, bro. Because I'm starting to go down that same path with Bray Wyatt when he came back, and I'm like, I told myself I wasn't going down that path, but yet I find myself sliding down. But man, this bloodline thing is something different. But we got to get to the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Let's start with the ladies. Let's wrap this up with our picks for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Who is going to win that contract this year at Money in the Bank for the women? We have Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. I'm going to pick my answer right now. I'm going to write it down. I have an idea who's going to win.
Is that what we're doing right now?
No, this is something I'm just doing because I want to organize my thoughts, because there's a reason why I'm picking who I'm picking. There's two people that I feel like is going to win this match. There's two.
I only have one.
Okay, well, this is why we're having the show, because we're gonna sit there and discuss this. What about you, Brian H? What about you, brother Hugh? Do you guys have surefire winners for the women's Money in the Bank contract?
What they call it, a one in a possible?
Sure. Yeah. Is that what you're working with right now, brother? A one in a possible? Hollywood, Brian H. Okay, what about you, brother Hugh? Are you working with a one in a possible, or are you having in mind? Do you know who's going to win this match?
I'm thinking one in the possible.
All right, y'all can hear me now.
Yeah.
We playing big spades now. We playing big spades. Let's go.
Big spades.
Yeah. So I think we all got a one in the possible. All right. So, Brian, you want to go ahead and start and just and kind of go into who do you think is going to win, and who is your potential and why, and so on and so forth.
If you told me I had to write it down for the sake of like there's a contest and I want to win, I'm going to Zelina Vega.
Okay,
I think it's time. I think she showed that like she can be a star. Yes, she's a baby face. This is different, but I think that if you're going to do something, especially with the LWO, I think Zelina Vega is the way to go.
But yeah, she showed off. I think she solidified it in Puerto Rico. Like Vince believed in her by granting her Queen of the Ring after her lengthy time out. Because I think then she was one of the people that wanted her release.
She went Twitch.
Point. Yeah, that's right. Now, ironically, look where we are. Okay, and who's your possible? Who do you think if it's not her, then
I'm always gonna say thank you, Trish. I'm going with Trish Stratus. I think.
All right. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, Trish Stratus, Money in the Bank. It adds credibility to the briefcase, but also just a way to get the title on her, just because I think some people may say, "Oh, she don't need it," but you giving AJ Styles runs, you giving all these people runs,
right? You give Goldberg runs and stuff like that.
Exactly. Trish Stratus have made a lot of money for that company, and I think she can continue to do so. So I think her with the briefcase would be amazing.
Can you imagine her winning and Zoe Stark carrying that briefcase around like she's China?
I was gonna say that, or she coming close to winning it, or I had this thought that's way out in left field.
Mm-hmm.
What if Zoe Stark or Io Sky won, and Trish and Bayley tried to manipulate their prospective partners into cashing in for the tag titles?
Whew.
It say any championship.
That's true.
I had a Wilder one. I'm gonna take that. I got a Wilder one that's gonna happen.
Let's go.
I feel like we're at a card game right now, bro.
Well, since we're doing one of the possible, I'm gonna say Trish because she needs this, because when you think about Trish Stratus' career, she didn't have some of these opportunities that we have now with the women wrestling.
Being freaking go.
So give her this not because she deserves it. She's the one that can build it all the way to Mania if you need her to with this briefcase. And thank you, Trish. I think this is just going to solidify that whole thank you, Trish. And I think
literally thank you, Trish.
And this is how I think this is my wrinkle of what's going to happen. Zoe Starks is going to be up there, and then she's going to stand there holding it, unhook it, and hand it to Trish to say thank you, Trish. I hope you that.
Who did that last time? Somebody else did that, didn't they?
That was
he who lives in Maryland.
Whose name should not be mentioned.
Yeah. So if we really going with a possible,
two hands in a fighting chance.
I'm trying to keep y'all on track. If I'm going with a possible like everybody else, the reason I don't believe Zelina Vega is winning because she'll have her moments, and I really believe that Triple H is going to right or wrong by giving her a good reign as Queen in the Ring, and that's her route to a title.
So they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it again.
I'm saying they keep toying with the Queen in the Ring. Let her run it back, give her the right reign with it, and that's how you get her to a title.
I thought they gave it up for Night of Champions.
Yeah, I thought it was done.
I thought it was still in the works. I'm just saying that's why
I don't. It could be, but I know the rumors were at one point they changed it. They changed King and Queen of the Ring to Night of Champions.
All right, well, I don't think Becky needs it because Becky can always get into any title match.
Her last name is Becky Lynch.
Zoe Starks is going to be like I said, the reason that Trish wins it.
Sure.
I think Bayley and Io are going to have that disagreement. This is going to start the road to WrestleMania. I mean, I'm sorry.
There you go.
For their match. And then
you think that early? Becky and Io SummerSlam?
When else to do it? You can't drag it out. I mean,
yes, you can. We dragged out Bianca and Becky Lynch, the rematch.
But I'm saying it. Would you say strike while it's hot? Because what else do you do with Io to keep her hot? Get her that big win.
That's the whole point. That's the old school Macho and Hogan thing. Like what they with each other, they trying to make it work, and after a while, it just implodes.
And that's why I think if you notice Bayley's, ironic, I got on her shirt. A lot of her career moments are her blow off matches with the people, and they always happen sooner than what we need them to. But it keeps it. Oh, okay, that was a good match. Oh, okay. Like think about it. She told Bianca she ain't belong, and then next thing you know, Bianca beat her on SmackDown. That's what propelled Bianca into the next level.
Got a point
from NXT.
True.
So my possible winning is Io only because that could be the dissension between her and Bayley because she kicks Bayley off the list.
I gotta switch all my stuff.
See, that's what I say. I told you, bro. Like, we gotta talk before him. Let him talk first, bro. Let him talk first next time because now you're like, dang. I thought about that. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good point, though. Because once again,
pay attention. That's how the guy be doing.
No, but if you think about what he said, like when you really think about what he said, that's how you could keep that feud going alive. Like that will cause tension.
I really hope Trish wins because I love this thank you Trish thing that she's doing. Because like you said, it's just like the men coming back. We have the men come back with all these titles in the limelight. I need to see Trish open and close a Raw as Trish Stratus, just like we would for any returning male superstar because she can do it.
Yeah, we did for Edge.
Yep.
Trish Stratus is the GOAT.
I didn't see that. I mean, honestly, when Trish Stratus came back, I thought it was a one-off. She popped up at the pay-per-views and stuff, but she was once again planting seeds. And she's like, "Oh, nah, I'm coming back." And I'm like, "Oh, snap!" Trish Stratus is like back. It was no announcement or nothing.
walked out at WrestleMania. You can ask Krista B, you can ask Queen PR, you can ask Cal. I said, she's turning. She got the cowboy hat on.
Mm-hmm.
And
called it
seeds. And I honestly think we were supposed to get it the next night. But you know who was there, and that was the worst Raw after Mania ever.
He whose name should not be mentioned, because every time
be feeling bad, but people always talk about, oh, you go to WrestleMania, you got to go to Raw after Mania. I felt so bad for everybody who went. That
was a letdown.
Yeah, and it was like, but I think that's when the heel turn was supposed to happen. Instead of having the week after. Yeah. That show got rewritten like 80 times. I hate getting into that type of stuff, but it's the truth.
Next time at WrestleMania is Vince is he whose name should not be mentioned. Is he going? Wait a minute. Where's Benny this year? Philly, right?
Philly.
Yeah. All right. Make sure Raw's in California, so it's no way near Connecticut.
Bro. You guys have to have it.
They put it in DC. Put Raw in DC so he can't. He got to fly out to the next Raw. I'll be like, no, we need you in Memphis tomorrow.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh man, brother Hugh.
He took all the good ones, man. Like I was gonna say Zelina. Well, not Zelina was gonna be my possible. Just for the simple fact that she's been getting pushed pretty well. And I think it's time for her to continue to just grow as a star.
Mm-hmm.
But Trish was gonna be my straight up winner.
Yeah,
for all the reasons for all the reasons that Brandon said. Like, this is something that she needs. It's something that she's never accomplished. So it's like, go ahead and give it to her. But now I'm gonna change it because I want to see Io and Asuka. That's what I want to see. So that's like my fantasy matchup.
But I was after her and Bailey have it, so that way.
I was about to say. Now I'm thinking Bailey. Now Bailey, maybe she can. Like, Io was up on the top of the ladder, and I can see Bailey pushing her off or whatnot. Kind of like
I can see that happening, bro.
Yeah, but like Sandow and Cody Rhodes in 2013. You see, something like that. So and then they end up beefing over the briefcase, and then I don't know what else comes after that, but. Like Becky, she doesn't need it. Zoe, that's Zoe and Becky. That's your SummerSlam match. I don't know what's going to happen with Zelina if she doesn't get it. Trish, Trish is Trish. So, I mean, she's good either way. But I feel like Bailey needs something.
Do you?
I don't know. Is she just? I don't know. To me, Bailey's not Bailey to me.
I think Bailey is creating so many new stars.
She is. She's doing her job that way, but I want to see more from Bailey as a her own individual superstar.
Can I ask you a question?
Understand now. That's exactly what
is she healthy enough to do that? Because she remember when she first came back from the knee injury, they started her off kind of slow. Right. Think about it. You know what I mean? Like, she was doing a lot of managing, and her first match was almost 2 weeks after she showed back up, and I was like, why is she not it's Bailey? Why is she not in the ring? She's doing more talking and managing and anything. And I was like, they're probably trying to ease her back into it because of you don't want to take no ACL, especially for a lady. Like, that's the way that their bodies are kind of like they heal differently. You know what I mean? And I'm just I don't know. They can't hold as much. She don't have as much muscle mass on her body to sustain an injury like that and just jump back into it.
That makes sense.
So I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like,
something to think about,
because it seems like they were like, why are they taking their time? Like, they're being patient with her. Like, it's like a Kurt Angle. When Kurt Angle come back with a neck injury, they're not letting him go right back into the main event.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, maybe they're just trying to protect an asset. Maybe they're like, well, shoot, if you're gonna,
they're the new T Angle.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So while you're still trying to develop, why not, like you said, put over a tag team and help these? Because Io Sky, can you imagine what she would be doing if she wasn't with Bailey right now?
Man, I would love to see Io, so I'm gonna go with Io. I want to see Io and Asuka. That's what I want to see right there.
That's another one. That's because we also talk. This is exactly what Brother Brandon was talking about. Where there's multiple reasons in the match that make you go, oh shoot, they could go that direction. Oh, so now it makes it harder for you to guess the obvious, like we used to do when he whose name should not be mentioned was so predictable and used to book the stuff.
But this is the road to SummerSlam. I said it. This pay-per-view is going to get us to SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's 1 year anniversary of cooking.
Yeah, and that's the whole point though. That's because Brother Brandon, we're on a road to SummerSlam, so everything has a purpose. And then it's like, well, we don't know what the SummerSlam plans are. So we're watching to see what are you guys planning for SummerSlam based off what happens at Money in the Bank. I also originally chose Zelina Vega is because it's like, well, it's an opportunity to once again create a new dance partner, you know, to get her really, really going. And once again, like Bryan said, to help get over the LWO, because like I thought that was just like, oh, they're just messing around, sell some t-shirts. Now they like for real, like now we the next generation of it. And I was like, oh, so this is for real. And of course, with Ray being their manager / mentor, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense because you got one of the original members involved. So it's gang, like it's official. So I was like, you know, they'll once again, but what are we talking right now? We're talking global expansion. You know, you see EO, you see Asuka, you know, and they had another Japanese young lady, but she recently asked for her release. You know, you have the Latina wrestling audience. You know what I mean? LWO, Rey Mysterio, OGs. Not to mention you have Dominik doing this thing, and then you turn around and you have Gunta. You know what I mean? You had the Brawling Brutes. I'm like, man, like Triple H got superstars on every part of the map. So everywhere they travel to, they got headliners. Like we got Butch in the Money in the Bank. I'd have lost my mind if you told me 2 years ago Pete Dunne was gonna be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and now he's here. So
what is the tag match? Is that Friday? Speaking of the international stuff, is that Friday?
What, the women's tag match
for Pretty Deadly and
Oh yeah, that's on
SmackDown.
Night.
That's SmackDown.
Because they still got to fill that arena for SmackDown, so that's why you got Charlotte and Asuka.
I felt like because you said that because Pretty Deadly, that's their home, right?
Yeah.
Are they from London?
I think so.
Oh man, wow! I don't know.
Sure? Let me look up. I thought they were. I thought so.
Pretty Deadly, man.
They from
they're different,
bro. They know how to get under people's skin. I said, oh man. I said, that's why they broke up freaking Mansois and
they're a British professional team.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap then. It's a wrap.
Elton Prince.
That it makes sense for those guys to be there, and our SmackDown is going to be dumb lit. But let's move on to
shout out to the Yankees, Domingo German. He threw a perfect game. That's the only reason I mentioned it.
Wait, why are you shouting out the Yankees?
I was surprised when he said the Yankees.
Because he's a minority that threw a perfect game.
Okay, I ain't trying to hear all that. It's the Yankees, bro.
Well, it's a perfect game, bro. It's only like 30 of them in history.
Only 30 in history out of all the years of baseball's been around. But, we got to move forward. We're almost there, gentlemen. We got the men's. This is the one right here. We got the 24th. Men's.
My bad.
No, you good. We got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Shinsuke Nakamura. We have Ricochet. We have LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Old Butcher, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. We started this conversation last week, and I pray to God we're not here for another 45 minutes because we could easily be here for another 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh my God!
I'm scared to start. Bryan, let's just start back at the top, brother.
Yes.
Do you have a let me ask you this, everybody, good brothers.
Yes.
Do we all have bona fide picks for this match, or do we feel the same way with this match as we do with the women's title match, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match?
Damian Priest.
Okay, so Bryan has a guy. He's already called it. Damian Priest.
I got one in the possible.
Okay, brother Brandon, you have one in the possible. What about you, brother Hugh?
Oh gosh, I say one in the possible too.
Okay, I also got one in the possible.
There's a couple of possibles. Go ahead.
Brother Hugh's got a couple of possibles. Let's start. Bryan, you bona fide. You saying Damian Priest?
Yeah, I think it's I just feel, and maybe I'm just in my head, I feel like LA Knight is just too much of a layup and slam dunk, and the same with Logan Paul. I think Damian Priest,
brother Brandon is itching right now to
look at his face, bro. He is a Triple H guy.
Okay. All right, but isn't like everybody in this match Triple H guys?
Yeah, but Priest it's kind of like I don't want to say like borrowed time, but it's like it's kind of winding down. And same with LA Knight.
They're in their 40s.
Yeah, so I just think right now like the Judgment Day is just too high.
Shoot! You pulled the brother Brandon. Now I'm mad that you had something to say.
Oh my
Dang
God!
It. All right.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm taking this one. I don't
no, go ahead. Yeah, by all means.
I was gonna say, yeah, man.
He's just gonna make you change your mind afterwards. After you like, man, I wasn't even thinking about that. Go ahead.
Right. I like Priest, but I'm going with LA Knight because the only reason Of course,
Yeah.
it's a layup. But Triple
Mhm.
H has been giving us exactly what we expected lately. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Look
And-
at Seth Rollins.
Right. And
We
and
said
you
it. We said sometimes the obvious answer isn't necessarily the wrong answer.
Mhm.
And this man is over like crazy. So it's like,
Yeah.
you got to go ahead and just pull the trigger on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm also thinking like Logan Paul, of course, you can go with him, but
Sure.
does he really need it?
Exactly. And
You know what I'm
this is
saying?
your possible, right? Logan Paul?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Escobar, he's there for representation. LWO.
That's my guy. Santos.
I like him. I've been like him since he
I'm
was
telling you, man.
cruiserweight
Oh yeah,
champion.
absolutely.
Love Santos
absolutely.
Escobar.
Yeah, Ricochet. Hey,
Him and versus Logan Paul spots.
hey, there it is. That's it.
Hold up.
That's it.
I got Money in the Bank 2012 on. Why they just had an advertisement for guess what social media platform?
What's that?
Tout.
Oh,
Oh my god, stop playing,
Bro.
I forgot.
that was.
Did anybody ever do tout? I know I
Yes.
didn't.
I
I didn't.
never
You
did.
did, brother
So,
Brandon. You picked up
I
tout.
touted like once,
I touted. Is that what it was called?
but remember
we was at-
Vine.
Who else was we at? We were telling.
I remember
Are
Vine.
yours?
And somebody else's. We did it a couple. What you call it? Because
Yeah.
I think Charlie and we was telling because something happened. He was real salty about the result, and we had told it a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, it was probably at Loafers.
No, it was in somebody's house.
Okay,
I think it
I
was
know-
one of their houses.
Out.
I was just talking to Ciendo earlier about Vine because she was when Dolph cashed in
Mhm.
at
Yes,
the Money in the Bank contract. Yeah, she was there and she was like, "Yo, she go find a video with her Android phone of her reacted and the crowd reaction to Dolph coming in." But
Wow.
it's like,
You said Vine. Do it for the Vine. I ain't
bro, you
gonna do it.
remember when
Right,
we
yeah,
first
right.
discovered Vine though, right, Wayne?
Yeah, I do. I do remember
With
that.
Wickham down in North Carolina, A&T.
Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it.
I kind of miss
Sorry,
Vine.
dude.
I know it's
Right.
TikTok, but
Right.
I
No,
kind
you
of
good. You good.
Vine was cool, man. I like,
Yeah,
I like
it
Vine.
was.
I was just
get
getting
in
to
and
it.
get out.
Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. So brother Hugh said he's got LA Knight, right?
I got LA Knight. And
Okay,
then,
got it.
You know, Butch gonna show out for
This is
He's
I
just
think
gonna
this,
show out.
this is I think this is gonna be his coming out party for like the main roster. Like this is like, man, this is your chance to showcase who you are and
Mhm.
represent in front of your home country.
man. I'm going with the Maryland guy, even though he doesn't rep it anymore.
He doesn't rep Maryland.
Nah,
anymore?
he's from LA now.
Well, that's okay.
According to the WWE,
Man, like what's
he's from LA
man.
now.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
He's from like
Yeah.
Westminster or Frederick or something.
Hagerstown. Yeah, he said
okay,
he
yeah.
told us he's
I
from
know
Hagerstown.
somewhere. Yeah,
He's pushing close to West Virginia. So
And then he like he's never wrestled in Maryland though.
that's the crazy part. He lives in Los Angeles too.
Yeah, he went and got his start up in Ohio. He said he
Mhm.
never wrestled in Maryland.
Mm.
Look at old Eli Drake. Look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Brandon. And as brother Hugh just dropped out. It happens to all of us. Who do you have in the? Let me go first because you're just gonna. I'm not.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not following Brandon anymore, man. I'm going with LA Knight too, because and here's the reason I say it is because he's hitting like when the fans begin to disrupt your like regularly scheduled program because they want you as a performer. That's usually when the front office begins to pay close attention. And you're talking about, like you said, the same reason that you feel like Bryan H. They should pull the trigger on Damian Priest. It's like, well, why not pull the trigger on LA Knight now? Why he's hot? And he's hot because he's organically hot. Like he hasn't been booked in anything. He had the one thing with Bray Wyatt that worked out. Every time he comes out, people get excited for him. And it's literally he makes his money on the stick. He grabs that mic, he does his thing, and it's like, well, you're not putting him in any storylines. You're not booking him. He just shows up, and the fans go crazy for him. I'm like, dude, let's just go there. Like, let's just let this. It seems like it's the obvious thing, and then you have a whole year to figure out what you want to do with him. It's any championship. Doesn't have to be for Roman. Doesn't have to be, for Seth and whatever the case may be. I don't think he needs necessarily a world championship run to be the guy. He's already really, really over as it is. So it's like, why the heck not? So I'm definitely going LA Knight.
Logan piping in those cheers though.
Oh, see, look, now he's trolling. He's talking about, is that true, Brother Brandon? He said piping in cheers. He's saying that the cheers for LA Knight are not organic. Brother Brandon, the floor is yours. Look at You see the face?
So my pick
The
to
floor
win.
is yours.
My pick.
Let me grab my pen so I can take notes because he's gonna say something off the wall.
So I'm gonna say before I give you my pick, I'm gonna give you two things that's gonna happen.
All right, here we go.
I believe that Carlito's gonna come back in this.
Oh, come on, bro.
And because it's Carlito came out his mouth and said, "Oh, I can't do this show because I'm going back to WWE." Right?
But his reported return is in MSG.
I thought it was this Friday.
No, MSG is next Friday.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it back. Carlito's not coming. I thought it was this Friday.
But
So scratch that.
Listen, don't say it's not coming. We never know what they.
So here's the other thing that's going to happen. I believe that when the participants come down, we will hear the Bruiserweights music, and he will be introduced as Pete Dunne.
Oh man, see, Bryan,
Because they're in his home crowd, right?
you
And
on fire.
That's going to be his pop. So that means he's not going to win, right?
Hey, it worked for Baron Corbin. He's back to being a lone wolf, and he had to go
Yep.
back to NXT
Yes,
to
sir.
retransform.
Yep.
Yes,
Think about it.
sir.
Baron
Whoa,
Corbin
suck.
got his music and his gimmick.
It's better. It's
Pete
better
Dunne
than
got
Happy
his
Corbin.
ear. He ain't get his gimmick. He ain't get his music back. But we need his name. And Tomasa got his music back too. Y'all notice that?
That's true.
So I'm gonna just go through the list, right?
Mhm.
Shinsuke and Ricochet gonna have a match off. This is gonna spew to their storyline, so they're
Okay.
not gonna win it. So that leaves you with Santos
right.
Escobar, who's gonna have a great showing, but that leaves him and Butch to have a storyline later on because Butch is not gonna win. So I pick Damian Priest to win because he needs something tangible. So he's not just the big guy in the Judgment Day, but
Mhm.
also what is he going to cash in with? Put the seeds of doubt in. Oh, does this mean if Finn wins, like we stated earlier, he's going to cash in on Finn? Or does that mean when Finn doesn't win, he's going to cash in on Seth? When you think about that aspect, everybody wants him to cash in on Finn. Who's to say he won't cash in on Seth?
And
Or
what if Finn disrupts that cash in somehow?
right, or like
I
what are you
thought
doing?
about
But
that too,
here's a monkey wrench I'm gonna give you. Damian Priest, right? That's his reward for the Puerto Rico stuff, the being the guy there. This is his reward. Who's to say he won't call his shot against Gunther? All right.
Ah.
But my possibles, and I'm gonna tell you my possibles. It's funny because it's who's left: Logan Paul and LA Knight. I'm
Okay.
very
Hollywood
low on
guys.
LA Knight because I'm low on LA Knight because he doesn't need this. I think, and I said it in the group, LA Knight needs to go back to SmackDown, take that US title from oh boy, because Austin Theory is kind of like flatlining. LA Knight can be that face of SmackDown with that title that when Roman's not there, it's must-see TV because of LA Knight.
Ah,
If you-
sheesh.
See, that's why he wins it though.
This is
You see
No,
what I'm
he
saying?
doesn't need it because he can get.
He
that.
doesn't need
can
it.
get the US
He
title
doesn't.
without it. He can get the United States title without it, right?
Mhm.
Because after you have a good showing in Money in the Bank, it's not unreal that or a good showing at a pay-per-view, you get a title shot for something after the pay-per-view, right? So the follow-up on Friday could be LA Knight versus Austin Theory, right? But the reason I'm saying Logan Paul, Logan has had all these matches in WWE and loses. At what point, and I'm just saying from a fan perspective, do I want to, he's going to have a good match, he's going to lose. He's going to have a good match, he's going to lose. Give him this briefcase so he can float between all the shows when you need him, and it adds a threat to every singles champion. If he shows up and Gunther's out there, it's like, wow, he really ready for that beating? He shows up with Seth. Wait a minute. He really going to Seth and him round two? He shows up with Roman. Imagine him showing up with the briefcase after the Usos have super kicked Roman's head off and he just stand above him.
Oh man.
Imagine him, and I'm just saying all these possibilities that you can do with Logan Paul, and it don't have to be that night. It can be after SummerSlam, his music hit, he come in there and just look at Roman, and it's like, oh no, is this really happening? I'm just saying, and that's my possibility because it's endless possibilities with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And to satisfy the fans, that's why I'm saying LA Knight. But I'm just saying LA Knight doesn't need it. He needs to be the face of SmackDown like he should be when Roman isn't there. Give him that, just like The Miz did with the Intercontinental title when Brock Lesnar held the Universal title and nobody saw him.
Yeah.
It gives Roman a chance to be spectacular. Oh, my, what you call just went out. It gives Roman that chance to be
About to say.
my Alexa. It gives Roman that chance to be spectacular when you need him. He can do a couple house shows if he needs to. But imagine on the marquee. Remember how Raw we had Becky Lynch, we had Bianca Belair, we had Seth, we had Cody, all on the marquee, no titles. They were the major stars that were carrying Raw, right?
Right.
Imagine you have LA Knight as the front runner on SmackDown.
Oof.
Man.
Without the money in the bank, you give him,
Heavy.
you give him the
It makes
U.S.
sense.
title, and guess what he do with the U.S. title? It's credibility, it's seed, it's recognition. Even if he just cut a promo, I ain't wrestling, yo. This is a good night. Have a good night. Yeah. You thought I was going to come and wrestle you? Oh,
Dummy. Dummy. He bring back Dummy.
Right.
Just imagine all the matchups he could have.
Let me talk to you.
He might be able to pull Karrion Kross out of that right.
Oh,
Oof.
now you lost me.
Ooh.
I wouldn't see anybody explain it to
Love you, brother, but yeah, we listened. We
Karrion Kross out there.
I forgot about him.
yo, he
Oof.
had, no offense, but he has a beautiful wife, and nobody still cares.
There's a disconnect, and I like Karrion Kross.
Me
It's just-
too.
It's just not,
full interest yet. Since he's been on the main roster, he hasn't done that whole.
bro. There's not enough TV time for all that.
Okay,
That's the problem.
That's why he keeps doing run-ins and coming in from the crowd. And
but Bray Wyatt could have the whole song playing.
And where's he?
Bray Wyatt is different.
I would say Bray Wyatt's worth a lot more money, but god dang,
right.
the heel
He-
Hollywood Hollywood Brian H just buried. Where's he at?
I ain't gonna never avoid the Hollywood name. Golly.
I'm not calling you
that was
Hollywood because
brutal.
I'm Hollywood. I've called you Hollywood because that's just a heel name. Everybody's
Yeah.
I had Ben dropping it like twice today. I was on Fightful
Brian, that hurt my
on
one
Draft
feeling.
City,
Dang.
and Phil and Reg was dropping. I'm like,
just
golly.
like Macho Man said, Hollywood. He was looking for Hogan that day.
Hey.
Hollywood Brian H. Hollywood. Oh man. Listen, look there it is.
Let me stop. Last time I did that, I got booked in a referee. I booked the referee messing around with PJ Savage.
See, look at you. You just listen, man. You gonna work yourself into another angle.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I've said it. I'm done. No more. It's no need.
Nah, he get in the ring. That's why he's
So-
jacked up. That's why he's Jack Daddy now.
Not. That's what he says when he's not in the angle.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna say, "Oh, I don't want to book myself into it." Next thing we know, he's gonna be on the match card.
Hey,
Right.
man, that's the dream. So Brian H, Brian H has Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Brandon, you have Damian Priest. Brother Hugh, LA Knight. Realness, LA Knight. Man, man.
We're gonna be mad when Shinsuke win that joint.
You know the crazy part is though? I'm not even gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be happy as heck. Like, yes, we going to Japan, baby. We going right to Kyoto.
I'm gonna just be like this.
No, I'm saying that we would be mad if it was like betting and like, golly, that's the guy, and then he mess around cash in that night.
And
Or
shit,
Pete
yo,
Dunne
Shin-
get it and he cashed it on Gunther and take the Intercontinental title from him.
God, in England.
Did
In
I
England,
just
bro.
throw?
You did it again. I was
saving
about to wrap up. I was about to hit with
Bro,
brother.
I
You
was
did it
saving
again.
that little tidbit.
See, now look, now what's gonna happen is the men's match gonna be the first one to open the show. Now that's gonna be in our heads all day. The
If
moment
Pete
the bell
Dunne
rings.
wins, if he wins and cash in on Gunther,
Whoever goes first, something's up.
Yep.
if
Oh,
you
man.
think the women go first, they
Thank
gonna cash
God
in.
there's no women's wrestling match on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I just realized that. Is that been
I'm okay
begging-
with that though.
No, because I don't want I want them to hold the briefcase. We're guaranteed for them to
Okay.
hold it 24 hours unless they beat up somebody and drag them out.
But
But
you know the
they
part,
because it's on a Saturday, so that means they're gonna have it. We ain't gotta worry about them catching it
Till
the next
Monday.
night. Yeah,
Just
you know,
hold it
like
until Baltimore. Hold it
Nikki,
until Baltimore.
yeah, Nikki Ash won it the night before and cashed it the next night. It wasn't 24 hours.
you know the part that
Yeah, it
bothers
was
me about
definitely
that.
the very next night.
What's
The
that?
part that bothers me about that is I didn't even catch that. But the fact is, I wonder how many fans have actually paid attention to that. Because I didn't like that's not casual information. I was like I
What?
should know that. The fact that you were like, look, there's no other women's match on the card, so
Man,
you know you're not going to get a cash. So I was just like,
I just realized that now. I did 3 shows.
I'm just like,
I
oh
didn't
shoot,
even
you
realize
got
that
a point.
Only thing
So-
I'm telling you, they ain't there. If Pete Dunne comes back as Pete Dunne, and he takes that belt from Walter.
That makes sense, though.
Ooh,
Oh man, Phew.
ooh. It's not gonna be it's gonna be a match. They're gonna have an actual match. It ain't gonna be Pete Dunne come in, hit him with a forearm and say pin him. They're gonna fight.
It's gonna be.
Can you imagine that match though? Oh my
that their face off again. You talk about two of the biggest stars in modern day
Squashes
UK.
Matt Riddle. He squashes Matt Riddle, and Pete Dunne come face to face, and they actually have a match.
Oof, man, man.
Because you remember that match at NXT UK.
That's what I'm trying to say though, bro. Like, did both of them? I'm like, we ready to go for part 3 now on the main roster, and on their home turf. I know they're from the United Kingdom, but still though, Pete Dunne in the ring with the ring general. And
because with him and go ahead.
What would that do with Sheamus?
This lineup is kind of crazy because all the stars will have other. Think about it. No matter who wins it, there's going to be a storyline coming out of this for everybody else. So, does Pete Dunne lose to win it? I mean, does he lose anything? Win it, cash in on Gunther, and lose? Does he really lose something in this aspect?
I think he does. Because he's already played second fiddle to Sheamus. Let's put it this way: he plays second fiddle to the bigger brand at the time, which is the group, the Brawling Brutes.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like Judgment Day is different because those guys are starting to stand out on their own. That's why you see them do their own singles thing. But it's not too many times you saw Butch doing his own thing or Rich Holland doing his own thing until recently, where he got beat up, and when Solo had an issue with him, he bumped into Rich Holland, and then Sheamus took issue with it. But it's like, man, maybe the Brawling Brutes are kind of going to go their separate ways, where it's like we're not necessarily breaking up, but we're just doing our own thing because Rich Holland got beat up by Solo. He was on his own. Sheamus came to his defense, but he kind of got taken out by Solo. And it's like, well,
which is all for the Money in the Bank now,
right? So it's like, well, I don't know. I just
want to leave y'all with that. I'm done for the night. Thank you.
I'm sure you are. Thank you. That's just it was almost out the door, bro. Brian said, midnight low, man. We got to get this over and done with. And he just at the end he couldn't help himself. Brother Brandon, the guy, had to throw another wrench in there. And I'm just like, this is why I'm not fooling Triple H. He thinks it's funny. Brothers, we did it again, man. I mean, who's doing this better than us right now? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I don't mean to talk my issue, but I'm just like, yo, we got this thing figured out. And it's just like, man, there's no better time than this time to do what we do, especially during the era that we're doing it. So I definitely appreciate you, brothers. I know we went a little bit late, but we had a lot to cover today. And I know I had a public service announcement that I had to, get out there. But
you had to get that out there.
Money in the Bank is this Saturday.
Yeah. Money.
July 1st,
yeah,
3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time in London, England. Streaming on Peacock in the U.S. Any last words, brothers, before we get out of here? We said a lot, and I'm not fooling with Brother Brandon before he throws another wrinkle into what we do.
Right.
Any last words?
Nope. Oh, yeah. Buy Wrestling Wrealm merch. 10% off. Use this code summertime. 10% off. Get you some new shirts, including this one I got on, a DX style shirt.
I got to get all those shirts.
And the Realness made the green one available.
That is available. It sure is. I need all the shirts. All my shirts are like shrunk. Like I can't put them in a dryer, so they're hanging them up. So I got to re-up.
This one's too big, so I got, but
Yep.
Got the
Get
large.
Your Proud Wrestling. Get your Proud Wrestling. Just back there.
And flavors. I got two of those, black and red.
Brother Hughes got his store set up back there. Look at it. He's like it's like a shop concession at the store. You know how they got the t-shirts and the belts hanging up when you go to the shows,
right?
That's how it is, though, man.
You got the Nighthawks too.
Nighthawks right there.
Who's going to Monday Night Raw?
Brock Lesnar's going to be there.
Yeah,
facts.
What's that about?
All I want to know is I might have to put a poll up to say which Wrestling Wrealm belt should make it to Monday Night Raw. I might have to put a poll up.
I ain't taking belts because I'm taking 2 kids.
I just want to know which belt. Which belt you think should make it to Raw?
I'm thinking that's the one I'm taking. Where's mine? Oh,
my daughter's face lit up like a Christmas tree.
Right there. That red one right there.
You taking this version or this?
Oh no, I was gonna take that one right there. That.
Oh, you taking the tag one?
The tag.
So I'll leave the version 2 of mine, and I'll take the tag.
Take the tag. Yeah, the tag.
Do I take the version black or that's all silver?
bro. I still
Nah, take the
have,
black, bro. The black.
I still, brother Brandon, don't forget, I still have your Universal Championship.
I have a version. I'm okay.
You will not be able to merge the titles if you don't get your title back.
I'm just saying I have.
Does the strap matter?
Bro, I can't wait till y'all hear the name of his next show. Anyways,
yes.
You can follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Wrealm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube channel at the Wrestling Wrealm. Peace out. We out. Nope.
And if you missed part of the show, it's available on the podcast in about an hour.
Hour or so. Catch up then. Peace out.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!